Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Aurelio Martinez, and those of you who have been coming to this podcast and listening to what we have to say, understand that I'm running for Denver mayor in 2027. I think we really need to put Denver on the right track. Okay, Denver's been broken for a long time, and it doesn't show any signs of being fixed. As a matter of fact, it's getting worse, and that's what I want to talk to you today a little bit about the furloughs and the layoffs that Mayor Johnston has already put together, saying that city employees will either be laid off, but they definitely will take the furloughs. We're not sure how the layoffs are going to work because he's flip-flopping. First thing he said was they would be done by seniority. Now he changed his mind and said they won't be done by seniority. But nonetheless, we're talking about city employees losing their jobs, losing hours. And we live today in Denver, which is not an easy place to live economy-wise. Okay? It's hard enough to pay your rent, put food on the table, pay all your bills, and have anything left over to enjoy leisure time or anything like that. We can't do that. As a matter of fact, most people who go out there and rent in Denver have to have roommates, not only one, multiple roommates, just to kind of make ends meet. So the city is broken. It's definitely broken. And throughout this whole campaign, you'll see me come up with these podcast episodes that we're going to explain the problems, and we're also going to explain the solutions. But right now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the furloughs and the layoffs. Okay? This is going to happen for the next couple of years. It's not something that's temporary. It's going to happen, and it's going to be fixed in 6, 7 months, 8 months, or even the first year. It's going to go and be outstanding for 2 years. And that's pretty much the duration of his term as mayor, Mike Johnston. Also, there's a hiring freeze, which means we're not going to get any more help more help within the city to take care of our needs that we need to take care of in Denver, like picking up trash. As you know, right now, if you live in a neighborhood in Denver, you'll see that sometimes they don't pick up your trash on the scheduled days, and they have to come back on another day. The alleyways, if you have alleyways in your neighborhood, are disastrous. So let's go ahead and say that the approach that he's taken is wrong. It's an immediate approach to start to save money. He's talking about we're going to have a $200 million deficit in the next year, not the next 2 years, the next year, that he has to find ways to manage and take care of things. So I'm saying, let's go ahead and start that way. Let's go start to manage some of these departments, and let's go start to manage some of these contractors that we give millions and millions of dollars. Let's start to manage these things right away before we start thinking about laying people off of work, because the people we lay off of work are going to be in dire need. They're going to be needing a lot of help just to survive, and most likely they're going to end up leaving Denver, leaving the greater Denver area, because they have to go find somewhere where they can afford to live. And that's not good. So let's go ahead and talk about this. He also mentioned, when he addressed this issue, he also mentioned that he will continue to spend the money on the homeless issue. Okay, he's a mayor full of excuses. Okay, and that's not good. That's not good for the city. He's talking about the problems arose when he spent over $200 million on the migrant issue. And the homeless issue has to be somewhere around 100 million, because in the past few years, it's been about $75 million that have gone to homeless issues and homeless needs and whatever they do. And you got to remember, the way it's working, the way it's been working, and the way Mike Johnston continues for it to work, that money goes out of Denver and nothing comes back. There's no solutions. Okay, we have solutions to these problems, and you'll start to hear our solutions and how it's easily fixed if we just manage the city administration properly. and the money that's going out. So we want to talk about that. So what I want to say real quick before we start going into other little topics or other little areas of this big topic, um, to everyone out there that's a city worker that gets laid off, when I become mayor, you will have the opportunity to get your job back, without a doubt. So let's keep that in mind, because it's going to be tough. I'm thinking this year and next year is going to be very tough on the people that live in Denver. It's going to be very tough for the people that work in Denver, and it's going to be extremely tough for the businesses that do business in Denver. Combine all these, it can be a catastrophic year next year and the remaining of this year. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Now we'll continue our episode of our podcast, our campaign podcast now. As we were talking about was the furloughs and the layoffs that the city employees are going to be facing here real soon. As a matter of fact, I think some of them have already started. So anyhow, this is like I mentioned before, this is the last thing that should happen, and not the first thing that's going to happen. Okay? Mayor Johnston has claimed that we're going to have in 2025 a $50 million revenue gap. So we're going to have a $50 million revenue gap in 2025 and a $200 million deficit. And he has to learn how to manage the city. If he has to do, he has to start doing a better job, and he has to stop with the wasteful spending. Let me just give you a couple of examples that also add to this whole thing, and this is why our departments suffer. This is why our Department of Safety suffers. This is why the city employees suffer. This is why the trash pickup and things like this all suffer. These are services to the people that live in Denver, the businesses that do business in Denver, and the people that work in Denver. So far, he's tried to raise taxes a couple of times, and you'll see, and we'll talk about this in another episode, in the upcoming election in November, another. It's not a tax raise, but it's coincides with our taxes, because it's money that we are paying for this revenue bond, the $950 million revenue bond called Vibrant Denver. I think we'll kind of explore that, and we'll kind of explain how that works and how bonds and all that work. But anyhow, that's another episode. So let's just talk about the wasteful spending. Okay, he's talking about a $50 million revenue gap. He's talking about a $200 million deficit. Okay, well, what he's done so far, just a couple of quick examples. He's bought the old hotel on 38th and Smith Road, Skyview or Sky something or other, 93 rooms, and he bought that for $9 million. Keep in mind that same hotel was earmarked by former Mayor Hancock, okay, Michael Hancock, and he had a big plan, and he put the plan together, and then he canned it. He quit it because it wasn't something that was good. Because if you're going to pay $9 million for a vacant hotel, and they estimated back that it would cost up to $5 million to renovate, to make it a useful for the homeless. Well, that's another $5 million plus the $9 million that's coming out of our taxpayer money. So he didn't do it. He didn't can it. Mayor Mike Johnston, when he got into mayor, what did he do? He bought the hotel. Okay. I guess so then he got somewhat of his senses together and figured, well, how are we going to spend another $500 million into getting this thing ready? I mean, and is that the right way to use money when we're actually scrounging to try to make the administration work smoothly? And obviously, it's not happened. It's been sitting vacant for well over a year. So now it's not going to happen. Instead, Mike Johnston is selling the building for $10. I think maybe you might have heard of this about it in the news and all, but he's selling it for $10. And yes, there's stipulations in it all, but still, that's $9 million, my money, your money, and all taxpayers' money that went toward this blunder. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about that. Another thing that you don't hear about is he's talking about we're in a revenue gap. Okay, but yet he continues to neglect the central business district, downtown Denver. He paid $100,000 to a firm to rebrand the 16th Street Mall. And what they ended up doing in a nutshell is removing the word mall and rebranded it to the 16th Street, period. $100,000 went to them for doing that. Okay, throwing money out. So we have to focus on getting the 16th Street Mall for what its purpose. It's part of the Central Business District, and the Central Business District, when run properly, is for you that have been in Denver for a long time. When they first opened up the 16th Street Mall, seeing how viable it was, how vibrant it was. Denver's not vibrant today. How vibrant it was, and you can go downtown, and you had Woolworth, you had Tom McCann's, you had a men's store, you had Wendy's, you had a couple of McDonald's, you had a few Starbucks, the restaurants galore, fast food, higher end, Morton's. I mean, it was all downtown. So when people came to visit Denver, or when people outside of the downtown area went downtown to the 16th Street Mall, it was beautiful. You can sit down, you can enjoy the day, you can walk, you can buy food, you can buy clothes, you can enjoy the day. That's been long gone. And okay, they're blaming it on COVID. Fine, okay. But the problem is COVID's gone and it's a thing of the past. So why are you rebranding downtown and not bringing retail businesses back to downtown? That's the key. It's not that you're going to bring events to Civic Center Park and you're going to bring people in for a day and then they're going to leave. Even if they come in for a day, there's nothing for them to do outside of the event itself. They can't go walk downtown and enjoy stores, retails, souvenir shops, things like they can't because they're not there. They're non-existent. So that's what has to happen now. And that will happen as soon as we take over and we administrate this city under my administration. Okay, so keep it in mind that there's going to be big changes. Okay, second, wasteful money went down the trip. I think you all heard in one of my past episodes about the Central Business District and the buildings that are all being foreclosed, have been foreclosed on, or are in trouble, in financial trouble. Well, the city of Denver ended up buying the old Denver Post building. You know, the one I'm talking about. It's right there near 16th and Broadway, the old corner. It's kind of a round shaped building. The city bought that for well over $80 million. Well over $80 million. And it's still empty, with the exception of the city going to move city offices into that building, and so is the state as well going to move people into that office. They're not hitting the nail on the head. Instead, they're missing, and they're missing wildly. Okay, and it's costing us, the taxpayers, money. So let me go back and let everybody know that pay attention to our campaign, because it's very important that we go ahead and get a head start as we're doing now, so that we can win this election, so that we can fix Denver. And I guarantee you, we will fix Denver. We'll stop the wasteful spending. All these contractors that are getting millions, $5 million, $10 million for doing something the city should be able to do on their own, that money can be saved and nobody will have to lose their jobs. Nobody will have to cut hours. As a matter of fact, we can build the force up. So follow our campaign. Click on our website, amfdm.com. That's Aurelio Martinez for Denver Mayor.com. Follow us, watch the videos. You can read there, you can read all about me, who I am, what I stand for, and what kind of a mayor I will be. So let's do that. And don't forget to hit that donation button, because honestly, we can't expect the $6 million of dark money coming into our campaign, because dark money comes with a price. It becomes with, they control the city, and that's not going to happen with me. So the only way we can offset that is to get the little 5, 10, 20, $50 donations between now and the next 20 months, so that we can go ahead and have a war chest of over $1 million. And I guarantee you, if we get over $1 million, I don't care if they have $6 million, because their TV commercials won't cut it anymore. We're changing it. We're going to you, the people that vote, you, the people that work here, you, the people that have businesses here. We're going to help you. We're going to help you. And we're going to go back. And I just want to leave this segment with a little note to the people of South Broadway, which I think they better think twice before they impose that tax increase and make that a separate little tax district for the South Broadway businesses and residents all along that side, because you should not have to carry the burden of doing the city's job. When I get there, we'll take care of it. All right. Everyone, have a good day. As always, you can get on the website, send me a message, send me a text, whatever you need to do, and I will get back with you. As a matter of fact, get your group together in your neighborhood. It doesn't have to be a lot, just your block, your family, friends, people in the neighborhood. Get with me, and I will personally go speak with you and your friends and your neighbors, and you can ask me anything. You might agree with it, you might not, but at least you will hear it from me, okay? Till the next episode, have a very, very fine summer day. It's awfully hot. Stay cool, because remember, that snow's coming. Bye-bye.